God's not speaking to you to protect you. And here's why. Have you ever found yourself in a place where you're just crying out to God to speak to you? Maybe you're there right now. You probably don't even need direction. Just to know He's still with you would be good enough. Well, this is for you. Human beings are interesting and none more so than prophetic people. Why? Because prophetic people believe that everything God says about them is imminent and must happen right now. And so they get frustrated when there's a period between proclamation and pronouncement. One of the most interesting things about believers is our tendency to cry out to God for our warfare to just stop, while simultaneously begging God to speak and to refrain from the torture of His silence. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. Here's what I mean. You may wonder, why did Job go through what Job went through? And more importantly, how do I avoid it, right? It's simple. Job went through what Job went through because heaven was boasting about Job. The consequence of God talking is warfare, and it's unavoidable. Mark 4:17, Matthew 13:21 tells us in no uncertain terms that persecution rises because God speaks. Think of Jesus, who was being baptized, and the Father said, "This is my Son, in whom I'm well pleased." And immediately after, and as a direct consequence of God speaking His prophetic word over Jesus, the trial begins. And a warfare that Jesus was not accustomed to before this broke out because words from heaven were spoken. Satan even used the same text in the temptation, citing, "If you are the Son of God." You see, storms don't come to teach us a lesson. Storms come because we've been taught a lesson already. Everything is happening to you right now is simply because God spoke to you. When you say, "God, I can't handle this. You said you never put more on me than I can bear," and what you're going through seems overbearing, I just want you to remember this. Satan does not fight you on the basis of who you think you are. He fights you on the basis of who God says you are. Or, as a man and woman thinks in their heart, so are they. Perhaps it's time to align yourself with what God thinks about you, as expressed in prophecy, dreams, and visions. And then maybe you realize that everything you're going through right now is actually fair game. In conclusion, God refrains from speaking because you cried for your warfare to end. If you want it to stop, God must stop speaking. If you want God to speak, then you have to grow accustomed to a life of warfare. God's silence is His way of protecting you from the storm you say you never wanted. So which do you want, His voice or comfort? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. Take care.